Welcome to Live Life with Sean. I'm your host, Sean Higgins. I'm a lifelong information security technology expert with a passion for speaking, coaching, and writing. In this podcast, I'm going to introduce you to a question, and then I will talk through how I dealt with that question, what it means to me, my struggles, my successes, my processes. And at the end of every episode, I will offer you a tool to help you work through what might be coming up for you. This show is recorded live, and you are invited to add your questions to the discussion. If I do not get to your questions during the show or they come up after the show, please send them to me and I will do my best to answer them on my blog. If you enjoy this content, please share it, subscribe to it, like it, and or leave a comment or question as this helps others find this podcast. Thank you for joining me. And today, what I'd like to talk about is what do you need to let go of? I don't know about you, but there's a lot of things that I picked up along the way that I need to probably look at letting go of. I'm going to break down letting go into three areas. First off is what stuff do you need to let go of? And I'm talking about physical stuff. I mean, you can see behind me, I've got some physical stuff, and there's probably some of that stuff I need to let go of. The other thing I'd like to segue into letting go of the perfect match. When you're driving towards a goal, are you so focused on a specific goal that you can't see something that might be just as good along the way that is really meant for you? And we'll talk a little bit about that. The final thing I'd like to talk about is letting go of a thought or belief. And I think this is the deepest part of letting go, at least it's the deepest part that I have struggled with, is letting go of my thoughts or beliefs that I've gathered over the years, and some of which I didn't even know. And I'll talk about some of them tonight, and hopefully they will spur you on. So let's start with something easy. Talk about the stuff that you've got. How much stuff do you really need? Look, you can look behind me. You can see my shelves. I've got lots of stuff on those shelves. And I'm sure there's some stuff on those shelves that I probably don't need. And it's there because, it looks cool. It's a good memory, And I think there's some stuff that I probably need to go through and filter out and get rid of. I have to do it. And believe me, after this show, maybe I'll throw out one thing and move on from there. Try and do one thing a day. We'll try that. I go through spurts where I will go through my junk drawers and such and pull out stuff and throw it out, and feels good. And then I start accumulating more stuff. I don't know about you, but there is stuff that I'm holding on to because I might need it someday. Yeah, I've got all kinds of different tools. I mean, I should probably go through my toolbox too. I mean, I got some you've got those ratchet sets. I've got like pieces and parts from 3 or 4 of them. I should probably just get one of them and get rid of the rest. It's just, there's stuff and it just takes up space and it takes up your energy, and, start by getting rid of stuff. Maybe that's an easy place to start with letting go, is letting go of some of your stuff. Yeah, I know one of the other reasons I have stuff is it's cool. I'm a technological geek. I love technology. I love to play with it. I love to learn about it. And yeah, don't get me started on headphones, okay? About a year and a half ago, I was on this kick to find the best headphones out there. And I got into Kickstarter and Indiegogo, and I think I went through 10 different sets of headphones. And there were a couple that were pretty good, but I was disappointed in most of them. And I think one of the most disappointing parts was, and this was early on in Kickstarter, is, they said they'd be delivered in November timeframe. And I go, great, November, I'll buy 3 or 4 pairs and give them to some people that I like. And, they'll have these great new headphones. And yeah, the headphones didn't show up till January. So that didn't help me. But I ended up with all these headphones and I held on to them for such a long time. And I eventually just said, okay, the heck with this. I've got to start just throwing this stuff out, because it's just taking up space. It's taking up my energy. I've got lots of stuff around here that probably needs to get going. And as I look around here, yeah, there's some stuff here I probably need to pitch. But take a look around your place, and is there stuff that you can let go of? Start with something easy. Start with something physical, something, and you just throw it in a garbage can. And does it feel better? And if that doesn't feel good, find a place you can give it to. You know, I go through my clothes closets probably 2, 3 times a year, and I just fill up a bag, you know, and say, oh, I haven't worn this shirt in a while. Throw it in a bag, and I take it to, you know, one of those like the Goodwill, and I give them the clothes, and you know, people are better off with them than I am because I wasn't wearing them, and it's probably about time I need to go through my clothes again. But throw it out, give it away, do whatever you need to do, but maybe start looking at your stuff and seeing how much energy that frees up. I know every time I do it and I get rid of stuff, I feel much better. So start there. Start with giving away stuff. Just take a moment, look around the place that you're in right now, and find one thing you can get rid of. Okay, I'm going to do that too. This coffee mug. Okay, this coffee mug's going right in the garbage. There we go. Gone. Feels much better already. All right. Did you find one thing? If not, look around again. I'm sure there's one thing you can get rid of. Just one thing. Just throw it in the garbage. Do it. Throw it. Okay. Feel better? Good. Okay. The next one, the next area of letting go is what I'm going to call letting go of the perfect match. You know, and this one, you know, I'll start with a little joke. Okay. Preacher has his parish, and there's lots of rain. There's going to be a flood. Policeman comes up, says, you know, preacher, you should get out of here because there's going to be a flood, and you know, we want to make sure everybody's safe. We're evacuating the town. The preacher goes, no, don't worry about it. God will take care of me. God will take care of me. Policeman goes, okay, I got to go take care of some other people. Leaves them. Keeps raining. The water is now creeping up to the front step of the chapel, and here comes a boat. Boat comes along, says, hey, preacher, come on, get in the boat. We'll take you to safety. The preacher goes, no, don't worry about it. God will save me. The guy in the boat says, okay, moves along. You know, keeps raining, the water keeps rising, and you know, eventually the preacher's on the roof of the church, and here comes a helicopter. Helicopter comes along, says, preacher, come on, get in the helicopter. He goes, no, God will save me. And the helicopter takes off, and what happens? Preacher drowns. Sad story, but then he goes and meets God, and he goes, God, why didn't you save me? I prayed, and I'm a good and faithful person. Why didn't you save me? God goes, I sent the police, I sent the boat, I sent the helicopter. You know, if you're going for a goal, don't make it such a singular action that you can't see something that is almost a perfect match to what you need. Okay? You know, it's like if you want a fast car and your focus is on a red Ferrari, and that's all you see is a red Ferrari, and somebody gives you a yellow Lamborghini, will you pass it up because your vision of a fast car is a red Ferrari? Think about that. Okay. Sometimes, yes. Sometimes, if all you want is a red Ferrari and you have to get a red Ferrari, you got to get it. But keep in mind, sometimes you just need to look at how not so much perfection, but how close the match is to what you want. You know, my daughter was recently in the market looking for a job, and you know, she kept coming into these things. Oh, I would have been perfect for that job, and she gets all upset when she didn't get that job. And I said, okay, come on, just breathe. You know, it's okay to be upset. First off, it's okay to be upset. You got to let that out, which she did. And you know, just be ready for the next one. You know, just keep looking. It may not be perfect, but something will show up that is right for you. And luckily it did. Something did show up and she's very happy and she's looking forward to that job. I think this goes along with a phrase that I heard growing up and I wasn't really sure I understood it, because it's let go and let God. And, I think why I didn't understand this was because to me, it felt like I was giving up control over this thing that I wanted, and it was just going to show up. And I think in looking at it from a perspective of letting go of the perfect match, I think that's where let go and let God comes in. It doesn't mean you stop working on where you're going, okay? It means that keep an eye on your goal, keep an eye on the opportunities and the rewards that come along. It may not be exactly what you wanted, but it may be better. It may be more in alignment with who you are versus what you thought of. And that's where I think the let go and let God is kind of let go and trust that you're going to get to where you're going. And, it may not look perfectly the way you thought it was, but it may be just what you needed. So is there something in your life right now that you're saying, I've got to have it, and you're so focused on that you're missing out on some other opportunities that are probably pretty close to what you're looking for, that actually may even be better if you step back and look at them and just take a moment and sit with that. Are there any things in your life you're focused on that maybe you just need to loosen up a little bit? It's not that you're not going to keep working towards it. It's more of, it doesn't have to be blue. Maybe it can be cyan, I guess. Cyan's a form of blue, I guess. I don't know. Talking to me about colors is, I don't know. Don't talk to me about colors. I'm awful with them. But maybe it's like the red Ferrari versus the yellow Lamborghini. All right. Now that we've kind of warmed up here, let's take a look at some of our thoughts or beliefs that we probably need to let go of. Okay, I'm going to start with a big one. Okay, I'm going to start with being liked. How many of you out there tonight believe you need to be liked? Okay, I'm going to be the leader of that group because this has long been a crutch of mine. And I know that it's been very limiting in things that I've done. And I've spent a lot of time to try and get away from this idea that I need to be liked. And I think when I was journaling one day, I wrote the following phrase and it just kind of stuck with me. And it just really, kind of helped me improve. Okay, I won't say I'm better. I won't say I'm doing great, but I'm improving. So the phrase that came to me when I was writing was, not caring what people think is different from not caring about them. Okay? Think about that for a moment. Not caring what people think is different from not caring about them. Just sit with that for a moment. And, think about if that resonates with you. I know as I wrote that, it a light went off in my head and saying, I always thought, after I wrote this, that if I cared what people thought specifically of me or what I was saying or what I was doing, that was a way of showing them that I cared about them. And in reality, it's not. Okay? I can care about somebody and not care about what they think of me. Okay, that's like me giving away love and not having to receive love because I gave it away. Does that make sense? So, what other things, and we'll go back to being liked in a moment, but let's just talk about some other ones. I think that for me, being liked is something that I've layered a lot of things on. Okay. For example, I layered on being liked to having to be married. And I'm not saying anything wrong about being married. I love my wife and I want to be married, but I have this belief that I have to be married. And when I peel that back, part of that was because having to be married, I believed made my parents happy. Okay. Because I got married, because you were supposed to get married. And I stayed married only because I felt I had to, versus I wanted to. Now, there's a fine line there, and I just want to separate the have, because when I felt into having to be married, what I felt was that I made myself smaller because I was trying to make sure my wife always liked me. Okay. So I said yes to my wife a lot, and I tried to make her happy by saying yes all the time. And you know what? Whether or not she's happy has nothing to do with me saying yes, because it's all her. It's her whether she is happy or not. And, it made me miserable because there were times I was saying yes, and I just did it because I thought I had to say yes. And I'm getting better with that. And, I'm starting to say no to her. And there's a little bit of friction between us because of that. And that's okay. I'm learning to stand. And I'm also learning that there are times when saying yes is the right thing to do. And I think that I've taken down some of those walls that, I put up around me to protect me. And I'm starting to tear some of those down. So it's making it easier for me to say yes without feeling like, oh my God, here we go again. So, but again, if that is built upon, I felt I needed to be liked. Okay. What other things are you building upon having to be liked? What about at work? When somebody asks you, how is work going? What's the first thing you say? I bet you most of you say, I'm busy. I'm busy. How many of you feel that saying you're busy is what you need to do to be like everybody else at work? Are you doing the right things? Are you doing the things that really you want to do, that you want, that are good for you, good for the company, moving you forward as opposed to busy? I know I struggle with that, because especially with COVID, I'm spending a lot of time at home, and some days I am really busy. I got lots of meetings, I've got lots of projects to do, but there are days when I am not as busy. I don't have meetings from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. I've got time when I can just sit and focus and work on stuff. Okay. And those are some of my most productive times. And, I may have a 2-hour block where I said, oh, great, I get to work on this report. And nobody's interrupting me. I don't have any meetings or anything like that. I don't look at email for a little bit. And guess what happens? I have a 2-hour block. It takes me 45 minutes to an hour. And I've probably accomplished more than if I was busy. Okay. And, now I use that other time to do some other projects. Okay. That have just been kind of like, oh, I guess I need to do this, but it's not important. But now I can start bringing it in and doing it to move things forward versus, just trying to be busy all the time. Another area that you might want to consider letting go of is, something that I wrote down here is what a man, because I'm a man, okay, what a man should be. Are there certain beliefs, thoughts that you feel that you maybe picked up from your parents, that you maybe picked up from friends, or maybe picked up from relatives? I mean, I got a picture back here, okay? It's a picture of my great grandfather and his family. He and his wife were both from Ireland, and he and their 6 kids are in this picture. And other than my great aunt, who was probably 10 or 11 in this picture, nobody's smiling. Okay. They're all pretty serious. And, as I look at that and I feel into that picture, I can feel his sternness, how he ruled the family with his strength, okay, keeping people in line, but there was a love with that. And, I think I picked up more of that you've got to be this strong person all the time. And, maybe that's not quite me. Maybe I need to do something a little bit different. And are there some of those things that I need to let go? Are there some of those things in your life that you need to let go of and just kind of say, okay, that was him. He passed it down. I picked it up. Do I need to pick it up? Is it me? Does it fit me? If it fits you, great. If it doesn't fit you, then maybe you need to let it go. Another belief that I have is I have to do it myself. There's a lot of things that I'm like, whew, I'm the only one that can do it. I know I struggled with this when I was a manager, managing 20 people. It's like, no, I'm the only one who can do this. When I had 20 other people that I was managing, and any one of them I could have taught to do it, so I could have done better things. So I have a hard time delegating. I always felt that it was better that if I did it than if somebody else did it, because I was the guy. I don't have to be the guy. I can let go of that. Is there something like that in your life you need to let go of? So now that you've hopefully I've stirred up a few things that you might need to let go of in your life. Let's talk about some ways that you can let go of things. First off, try and identify what it is that you need to let go of, or, you know, if there is something that's happening in your life, like for example, yeah, my wife makes me angry from time to time. And, one time I really sat down and I said, why is she making me angry? Okay. And one of the processes that I learned is ask why at least 3 times. Okay. At least. And keep doing it until you get to the answer. So one time my wife made me angry and I'm sitting down, I'm going, God, why did my wife make me angry? I sat there. I had to sit there for a moment and just kind of just feel into it because, sometimes it just doesn't want to pop right out. And what had happened was my wife asked me to do something and I got upset with it. And I'm like, man, this is stupid. She just asked me to do something very simple. And, why am I getting mad? And the thing that came to my mind was she was asking me to do something. I and I felt that she didn't care about what I had to do. Okay. So why number 2? Why did she not care about what I had to do? Well, because I didn't tell her. Okay. I may have been doing something that I needed to complete, but I didn't tell her. I just felt like, oh, she's interrupting me. I've got to go help her. But I never told her. I never told her, "Hey, give me 5 minutes," which I'm getting better at now. All right. I'd say if I need to finish something, I'll tell her. But at that point, I was not telling her that. I was just, oh, I didn't tell her. Why number three? Why didn't I tell her? Because I didn't want to make her upset. Didn't want to make her upset that I would be making her wait before I did something for her. Well, so I've gone three. Still not really at the reason, I don't think. So number four, why do I avoid upsetting her? Because I care what she thinks. Okay, I think I'm getting closer here. Why number five? Why do I care what she thinks? Because I want to make her happy. Ties back to I want her to like me. And I think by trying to make her happy, by doing things for her, I'm making her happy. So I asked one more question. Does helping my wife always make her happy? Oh, doesn't. Okay. Plain simple. Just because I'm helping her doesn't make her happy. Her happiness is up to her. Okay. Yeah. I'll tell you that, sometimes when we work together, works very well. We're both very happy. Sometimes not. That's a relationship. But try that. Next time you run into something, ask why 3 times. And if you don't feel like you've gotten to the bottom of it, keep going. Keep going. Keep digging. Okay. Some other things to do, if you're getting stuck, a couple other questions to ask are, is this feeling, emotion, belief tied to somebody in my life? Like your mother, your father? Is it something you picked up from them along the way? Is it something from the past? As I'm looking at my great grandfather there, is it something that I picked up from, a lineage? Another question, and we'll go through this in a moment here. Is it an energy block in my body? Okay. So let's take a moment here. Is there something that you want to let go of right now? Just pick something. And what I'd like you to do is to just kind of feel into if you feel it in your body. Hold that thought for a moment. Let's just take a deep breath and let's walk through this and see if we can help you out with it. Take a deep breath. Let it out. Take another deep breath. Let it out and gently close your eyes. Bring all your attention to the center of your head. Any thoughts, worries, concerns, about what's happening later this evening, tomorrow, into the weekend, just gently pull your attention back. And any thoughts, worries, concerns you have about the past, just gently pull your attention to be right here, right now. Okay. Keep breathing. Now, whatever it is you want to let go of, just feel into your body if there is a place in your body where this energy is stuck. Wherever it is right for you. Okay. Could feel like a tightness, a heaviness, a warmth, cold. Might be in your abdomen, could be in your shoulders, your neck, just whatever it is right for you. Just feel into it. Okay. Good. What I'd like you to do is to imagine you have a bubble out in front of you. Okay? And in this bubble is a magnet. And what we're going to do is when this magnet turns on, it's going to pull that energy that you want to release into that bubble. So turn the magnet on and watch how easily and effortlessly it pulls that energy out of your body. And you may notice some other places in your body that energy gets released. Great. Shut that magnet off. Now let's bring a second bubble along the right side of that first bubble. And you got a different magnet in this one. And in this one is a magnet that's going to pull your energy out of that first bubble. So turn it on and it's just going to pull your energy just like that. It's done. Wow, shut it off. Happens very quickly. Now let's take that first bubble and invite it back into your space. That's your energy. Let's bring in some golden energy from above. Bring it down in through the top of your head and let it work in and through your body, helping you reintegrate your energy back into you and filling in those places where that old energy that's out in front of you left. Great. Good job. Keep breathing. Now take a look at that first bubble that's still out in front of you. Just notice whatever shape it is, what color it is. Does it have a texture? Just notice. Whatever it is, it's fine. And just for a moment, see if there's a message in that energy for you. It's only for you. We're going to take a moment, just breathe. Great. Good job. Thank that energy for being in your space. It served a purpose. Now imagine a pin in your right hand. Let's pop that bubble and let that energy go back to wherever it belongs. Great job. Pull your attention back to the center of your head. Breathe. Take a deep breath in. Let it out. Start to feel yourself coming back into your body. Take another deep breath in. As you let this one out, start to feel yourself on your chair. Take another deep breath in. And as you let this one out, gently open your eyes. Now keep breathing here. You may need to take a moment to let this energy settle in your body. It's okay. Take as long as you want. I thank you for joining me this evening on Live Life with Sean. If you'd like to book a coaching session with me or want me to speak at your next event, please find the Connect with Sean link on my website at seanchiggins.com. If you've enjoyed this show, please share it, subscribe to it, like it, and or leave a question or comment, as this helps others find this podcast. I'm grateful for you joining me here this evening. Thank you, and until next time, have a wonderful day.